I mean, what else would you call it? John, good morning. 97.1.
Good morning.
Jim Costa, John Jansen, Heather Park. Got Gov and Greg behind the glass and Dustin Fiocco on the updates.
Well, it has been a bit of a free fall, but hopefully a soft landing.
You staying optimistic right now?
I'm always glasses half full. You know that.
They've won one of their last 10.
You should be too, because you're the one that buried the Guardians. How dare they make a comeback? How dare the Tigers fall apart? What could possibly happen?
I did not foresee the greatest collapse in Tigers franchise history taking place, but we are very close to that coming to fruition with just a week to go. They're only a game up.
Yeah, not good.
Swept on this 6-game homestand. Happy Fan Appreciation Day to everybody who went to Comerica Park yesterday. And happy trails to Charlie Morton, who was DFA'd over the weekend.
Yeah. Hate to see a guy's career end like that, but I'm glad that they at least made the decision.
So who's the number 2 starter in the playoffs when they start next week?
Are there playoffs next week? Did they play their last game at Comerica Park over the weekend? That's not smarmy. Like, that's very much on the table now.
Okay. Yeah, yes, it is. And I brought that up last week. Like, even if they lose to the Guardians, they still have to try and find a way to beat Boston to even get in the playoffs.
Because Cleveland's a half game out of a playoff spot, or right on the line?
They're right on the line. Yeah, they're on the cut line.
They're
tied
for a playoff spot. So you swap places with Cleveland, you're staring at the edge of the cliff.
Yeah. So, Gov asked the question, who's the number 2 starter? Or maybe you did.
Tom did.
Yeah.
And then I said they don't have one if there's no playoffs.
I was being just silly because Morton was considered that about 3 weeks ago.
Well, he was being considered as an option.
They had nobody. I mean, anybody on the staff was an option.
Flaherty and Mize have both pitched better in their life, but they just haven't gotten any run support. I mean, there's this whole free fall has been, originally it was no starting pitching. Then it was combined with no bullpen. And then the pitching started to feel, okay, well, maybe they're good enough. And then the bats just completely went silent, except for Spencer Torkelson.
So who do you blame? What do you blame for the predicament we find ourselves in?
I know that a vast majority, at least the vocal majority, are probably going to blame Scott Harris. And there is certainly some blame there in regards to not going out there and making this team better at the trade deadline.
I would go a step further. They're worse.
Okay, so why are they worse? Players have
he
fallen
specifically
apart.
added here were so catastrophically awful that they're no longer within the organization. He made them worse at the deadline. There's one thing, hey, your job's to get better. He made them worse. He didn't try to. I'm sure he thought they would be good players, but John, you can't deny the evidence. Their pitching staff since the deadline, 22nd in ERA, not a fluke, 25th in FIP. They got worse. And that's leaving out the fact they didn't even address the offense, which is dried up here. I mean, John, I know it would be haunting to give up a top 10 prospect. I find it more haunting, the epic collapse that we're seeing take place right now. Now, you tell me, what haunts you more as a Tigers fan? Losing Max Anderson or losing out on the playoffs entirely?
Okay. So let's go back to the trade deadline. Who could they have gone and gotten?
I'll give you one example. They went with a 41-year-old in Charlie Morton. There was another 41-year-old available who's pitched much better since. They could have added Justin Verlander.
They could have.
They could have traded for David Bednar, who actually has pitched well out of the bullpen for the New York Yankees. They could have added any bat at all, right?
Yes. They could have added any bat. I know that the one bat that everybody wanted them to add,
he struggled.
Has struggled. So, if he had gone out there and gotten Eugenio Suarez, and he would be batting less than 200 since he arrived, would that have helped?
Probably not. I mean,
no.
he has driven in some runs for Seattle.
Okay, yes, but he is batting less than 200.
Did you see how he hit this weekend specifically against the Houston Astros in some gotta-have-it division games?
Sure.
Because he went 1 for 4, 2 for 4, 1 for 3, had a hit in every single game, couple extra base hits, drove in some runs, right?
Yeah, but
So
we
pivotal
would
series.
still be in the same situation.
If he brought that this weekend, do they win one of the games?
Okay, Spencer Torkelson had home runs.
Yeah.
Did they win games?
No, they didn't.
Okay.
But I'm saying if you had one more bat. So he hit well in a gotta-have-it series. These are gotta-have-it series. How about the upcoming series? Would you take Suarez right now? I would.
Sure, because everybody we have other than Torque is batting less than 200.
Yeah, but you and I see it that way, but the guy making the decisions doesn't, and that's the problem.
Right, but my point is they'd still be in the same situation. And yes, maybe they would have one more bat to hopefully win a series here.
How about just a game? I mean, John, they're in a point where one game
I'm
is
not trying to defend Scott Harris.
I know you're
but
not.
what I'm doing is I'm saying some of it's on Scott Harris. A lot of it's on the players.
Yeah, Tom's words were echoing in my head over the weekend because he said he's right. As a city, we don't blame the players enough. We tend to just go right to the top. There's a lot that falls on this lineup.
Well, there's a lot that falls on Will Vest. Saturday's game is purely on Will Vest.
It should have been in the books.
And maybe you can question whether you should have had Vest go 8th and Finnegan 9th, or Finnegan ready if Vest implodes. Vest in September, listen to this, 6 runs allowed in 7 innings, 14 hits. 14 hits in 7 innings pitched. You want to blame him? That's the problem with this city. They don't want to blame the players. They always love their little players. Will Vest is probably, I'm just throwing it out there without ranking it on the fly, but 6th or 7th most important player on this team when it really comes down to it. You've got to seal the deal when you have a lead. That was the game you win, and it's you're up 2 games. It's a game changer. You go Scooble today or tomorrow, and you're up 3 probably. You're hoping. So that's the little things that, yeah, is the free fall completely on him? By no means, no. I mean, to me, it's still starting pitching. Just eating innings. The bullpen has been taxed, but I don't know how you get away from Harris. I mean, this has to be strike 2 if they miss the playoffs. It has to be.
Well,
you completely screwed up two of your 3 deadlines, right?
Yeah, and the sandwiched in between is this miraculous, wonderful run that they made last year to get in the postseason and win a playoff series. But it's hard to ignore. The only thing I'm hoping that he learns a lesson from this, because he's not going to get fired, right? Him and Hinch are going to be back next year trying to get this thing right. This should scar Scott Harris. I hope this is forever altering his brain chemicals. Like, you cannot run a deadline like that ever again if you're going to be the general manager, president of baseball ops at this city.
Not if you're going to be in a position at that time to have the best record in the American League. And there are clear flaws. Like, that's the thing, is there were clear flaws at that time. He didn't add high-level prospects, not prospects, sorry, wrong word.
Yeah.
High-level players with the prospect of being able to contribute through the rest of the season and in the postseason. But he was also counting on the guys, the all-stars that this team had, to continue to perform. And they haven't performed.
Well, and the biggest issue among all those all-stars, because Torres got a couple hits and McKinstry hit the homer, and it's still not good enough, it's Riley Green.
Yeah, he's 169 in September. That's the guy that you are basically building the rest of this lineup around.
There's a clip, and I think it's recently. He said, he doesn't care about the strikeouts. And I think the rationale was, you'll take the strikeouts when they come with, extra base hits and
Sure.
home runs and run production. And the problem is you get none of that. And then when that dries up, you get empty at-bats.
So I just need to make sure that you heard me and everyone heard me. I know you know the numbers. Riley Green in the month of September, when you need him the most, is batting 169. .169. And that's the guy that, 3-time All-Star now? Not getting it done when you need it most. And yes, there's certainly the opportunity to blame Scott Harris. But when Riley Green is 169, Gleyber Torres is 217, you go right down the list, none of the bats are doing anything other than 2, sorry. Because when you look at the numbers, you've had good production from Spencer Torkelson.
Yeah.
He's batting almost 300, but you're also getting good production, consistent production from Dylan Dingler.
two-time All-Star for Riley Green. And he's their worst bat in the lineup right. Well, when Javi plays, it's Javi. But I think that's an issue when it's collective. Like, I have no issue putting it on the players, but when the front office does them no favors, I think it's all going to end up revert back to Scott Harris. You guys let us know. 248-539-9797. Who do you blame for the predicament? And by the way, the season isn't over.